Hi everyone. We've bought Far Cry 3 this last week, and it's an absolute monster of a game. So, in the game is a map editor like no other editor that I've ever seen on any other game, other than obviously the early Far Cries. It's been a good couple of years since the game's been out, so everything's pretty fresh getting back into it. I used to spend hours in the game making maps, and a lot of it's all coming back what we used to do. We can do even more on this. So I thought I'd just run a few tutorials and try and do a series of these because I'm really enjoying going into it. I'm just going to keep them brief. It's not so much to start off with as an actual tutorial. It's just more stuff that I've learned that I struggled with, working out how to do a few things. So I thought, make it simple for everyone. Anything that I've struggled with, then I'll cover that. But to start off with, I just want to cover the map editor and how to generate your land, because you've got three different options that you can do. We've got, from the title screen, going into where you go into the map editor, three options. You've got new map, new empty map, and generate map. And I just thought that I'd give you a brief overview of what the three different ones do. So, a new map, you just click on this. Obviously it's doing what you said on the screen. Generating the wilderness. You've got obviously tips and tricks about map generation that's going on down here. So, first of all, this will just generate as a map. That's not too bad as a little desert. So, your left analog stick, you'll see on the top right hand of the screen, we've got 1 times up in the top. If you punch it in, then that moves up to 4 times and 8 times. And that's down to your travel speed of what your camera is. So with this just normally generates quite small islands. I mean, I say small, but when you're actually in the maps, it's really not that small. I mean, you can see the size of the beach there. There's plenty of ways that you can put lots of buildings around the beach on that one. But you can see, you can't really see to the other side of what it is. Trees are generated well. We've got a few boulders as well. Right, okay. So back into it as an editor. Just have a look how deep it was. So this is quite a small area. It looks like it from the size of what the box is on this corner. But for a small team deathmatch map, that's quite nicely generated. And from that you can obviously make your own modifications and do whatever you want. Just to exit from that one. So I'll go to generate map next, and then mainland mountains or tropical. Do mainland mountains. I'll do this quickly and then I'll go in and we'll test the other one as well. So just generating the map. Oh. They went wrong with mountains. So that's obviously the other option. Let's see whether we can change it to Tropical island straight away without having to come out. Slightly different version of what it was before. A few more trees in the middle. So mainland mountains obviously generates quite a large scale map, and islands does the other. However, I just want to move on to how I like to do it, and that's the empty map. So your empty map, you can see your playing field, which, as you can see, compared to what that was generating before, it's absolutely, well, it's huge. You know, for it, those mountains, you could have built quite a few different things in there. And we've got these grid references that you can use. You have got in your settings this part here where you've got show grid. You've got show navigation mesh as well. I prefer when I'm building to have show grid on, and that puts these pinky purpley lines across it. Now this it doesn't look too great at first, but it's so important to have these on for spatial awareness if you're going to be doing multiple level water areas inside your map later on, which is something that I'll go into on another tutorial about the multiple water. Something that I was playing with the other night, and it's important that you have these on so that you can kind of build your stuff around it rather than having to change it after you've built a lot of stuff. But that's pretty much your generation of your map. One thing that we will point out is that it's worth deciding what colour as such your map's actually going to be. So you get 4 colours on this palette here on the left hand side, and obviously you can see the grid there. This grid is what the base part of your map is going to be covered with, and you need to decide that quite early on. So you've got 4 sections theoretically what you can use with paint, and you've got to be quite clever with how you're using it. But in there you've got a lot, so things like the ocean blue. So if you're doing it quite a deep map, it doesn't particularly matter. You see, with using this ocean blue, it's okay, but when you raise your land up, everything's blue, and then you've got to repaint it again. So personally, I'd really have a quick think about what you're going to be doing. So things like coral, bottom of the ocean instead. It's going to pass off for the edge of the beaches and stuff that you can move it into. I kind of like the cliff ones, if I can find them. There's rocks. Even tiles. As I said, when you're making your map, just think about what ground you're going to be starting it off with, because it will really help you later on when you start to make your maps and stuff. So that's going to be it for the tutorial. As I said, I want to keep it pretty short and sweet, just so that people aren't hanging around listening to me dribble on forever about loads of stuff that theoretically starts rolling into other ones. And I'll do them as often as possible. I'm hoping to get through quite a few every couple of days that I get time to sit down and actually do it. I'm also going to be offering to do reviews of people's maps. So if you've made a map and you want someone to have a look at it, then let me know, and then we'll get it up on video and we'll do a review of it for you.